Alright, hello everybody, this is Starman, and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. I am the Doctor. Well, as you can see, I just hit level 8, and miraculously enough I did this by trying to clear out my inventory on Dr. Ava Strauss, and get things shifted around my inventory, Eddie's inventory, Willow's inventory. Make a long story short, I just accomplished a little mini quest where you get 100 XP for selling 10,000 items, which has now led to this. So we'll go ahead and boost my unarmed by 1. I think we'll go ahead and just keep leveling science up. And one more energy weapons. Now we're doing another perk. Let's see what stuff we might have gotten. Strong vacuum carry, 50 more pounds of equipment. And we can manage that better. Sneering imperialist. You don't take kindly to raiders, junkies, or tribals trying to settle or stay alive in civilized lands. Against dirty raper and junkie types, as well as Zion's tribals, you do 15% damage and have a bonus to hit and VATS. Yeah, not so much. Quick draw. Make your weapon equipping and holstering 50% faster. Commando. Get a bonus using two-handed weapons. Toughness, plus 3 to your overall damage threshold. I think we talked about that one before. Lead belly, 50% less radiation when consuming irradiated food or drink. I think we're going to... let's see. Yeah, we're not taking cannibal. Educated would be thematically appropriate, but it works better taken early on, but we're getting enough skill points as it is. Confirmed Bachelor sounds appropriate, but not really the right name. Retention, not so much, and I guess we did max out Skilled already. I think we'll go ahead and take Toughness, just because I have been taking a lot of hits and would be helpful. But one thing we're going to talk to Willow about first.
Hey there.
Found a book about boxing. Do you want to read it?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Sure.
And we do have the option of asking her to keep quiet.
No.
And see, what was that note that I just got? Willow's reading her skill book. When she is done, her unarmed skill will be raised by 5 points. Now, first things first, since we did have a bit of a quest for it here, I think we'll go ahead and talk to Eddie first.
Howdy.
Just regular settler. Or not talk to Eddie first, but we did get something about seeing the scrapyard here. And no, we're not scrapping Eddie.
Who sent you? I ain't talking. They tried to get me to talk before, but I didn't say nothing. And I don't aim to now, by gum.
I don't mean any harm.
We'll just see about that. You come any closer, and I'm liable to stick you with my sticking knife. Old stick is feeling mighty ornery this day.
We can talk from this distance.
You sure now? It's kind of hard to hear you.
You said you'd stab me with that dirty knife.
Okay, just speak up a little. But not so much that they hear you. They got people everywhere, always listening.
Oh, you're a loony, aren't you?
'Cause they know I ain't just barking here. What I say has got bite, 'cause it's the truth. Them quack doctors can say what they want about all the rat scorpion stings that done pierced my skull, and I know what I seen.
What's been going on in town?
There's been things of a disturbing nature going on at the McBride Corral. Seems every night one of their herd meets a most unnatural death, and always there's holes all over the body. Work of the chupacabra, the livestock vampire, says Novac, but they don't pay no mind. Too many holes, they say, and there's bullets in them. Well, says Novac, We got a chupacabra with an automatic weapon. And that's when they get real quiet, because now they see the predicament we're in.
What else do you know about the deaths at the corral?
I come face to face with the chupacabra himself one night, whilst I was investigating whether this gecko was hiding his treasure from me. He was the meanest, ugliest chupacabra you could imagine. Had 2 heads and fangs down to the ground. Best I could tell anyways, since when he come up to me he was invisible. Had himself a blunderbuss, what would rotate and shoot bullets real fast out of a backpack. Never seen nothing like it. Walked right past me having an argument with somebody. But I only saw one chupacabra, so I guess the other fella had to be invisible too. Only more invisible than the other one.
Now, this may sound like the random ramblings of a lunatic, but he did in fact see something. And if you know your Fallout lore, you know exactly what he saw. We've heard them mentioned before already.
Folks will tell you that they seen ghouls up near the rocket factory. Sensationalist hooey, cooked up by superstitious yokels, seeing phantoms of their own imagining.
What do you think's actually going on at the factory?
Ghosts. Commie ghosts who don't know they're dead. Hoping to steal our rockets so they can fly up and paint the moon pink and draw a Lenin face on it. I seen one of them disappear and reappear before my very eyes. Although, being a scientist, I have to admit I might have just blinked for longer than usual, what with the shock of seeing a commie ghost and so forth.
I'm looking for a man in a checkered coat. Have you seen anyone look like that?
Sure have. Camouflage that coat was, trying to hide from extraterrestrials what can only see in black and white checkers. But they're not fooled, because he forgot to put checkers on his face. I told him so, and he seemed to take it to heart. They stayed here a night and was up by the dinosaur talking to the sniper fella with the mustache a couple of times.
Surprisingly useful information. And of course, he is a caravan player. And somehow we suddenly know that Manny Vargas is the guy we need to talk to.
If anyone asks, we never spoke.
Okay.
Careful. They got spies all over.
And yeah, I know there's some really big base up ahead.
Hi there. I'm Old Lady Gibson, or so they tell me. I've got odds and ends for sale, and I'm pretty good at fixing things, too. You might have noticed the very large building just north of here. That's Helios 1. The NCR runs the place, so it's off limits to prospectors.
What can you tell me about RepCon?
Sometimes it seems like I spent the better portion of my youth in that old wreck of a building. Me and my hubby, may the man rest in peace, used to scavenge there. If it weren't bolted down, you can bet we took it and sold it. A lot of the scrap you see around here is from RepCon. Even my favorite chair.
What do you know about Helios 1? For that matter, how do I know about Helios 1?
The way I heard it, the Brotherhood of Steel ran the place before the NCR took it away from them. I'm not sure who started shooting first. But when it was over, the Brotherhood, with all their fancy armor and weapons, was on the run. Nobody's heard from them since.
Why do they call you Old Lady Gibson?
Well, I'll give you a hint. They used to just call me Gibson. I hope you can figure out the rest. I don't mind, to be honest. Living long is a real accomplishment these days. Remains to be seen if I end up dying peaceful in my bed.
And I need something repaired.
Sure thing. Let me have a look.
And show me what we have for sale.
Happy to do it.
And And she's also got some cards, as well as some assorted parts. If only I had a laser rifle, that would be a pretty spiffy thing.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. Take care now.
Subject E, diagnosis complete. Begin recording. My name is Whitley. I'm a researcher at Adams Air Force Base. Until recently, I was in charge of the Duraframe reinforcement project for the combat model iBots.
Continue.
iBot Duraframe Subject E is both the prototype and the last functional model in this test group. I was prepared to make several significant upgrades to the machines. However, as the project was canceled and all Duraframe assets are being diverted to Hellfire armor, I'm sending this model to the Navarro outpost.
Navarro, you might remember, was a location in Fallout 2.
If you're listening to this log from one of our Enclave outposts in Chicago, give this unit whatever repairs it needs so it can continue to Navarro.
Yeah, about that.
Hey,
And somebody is shooting something off in the distance. And the only hostile I see is this direction. Only problem is we're starting to get into the area where you might start finding cazadors.
Yeah? Yeah? Come on!
Oh, that would be Legion. But they'll keep running after me. And apparently I dodged him just long enough that the assassins decided, oh, we're going to run away again. Now, you know, since they have so obligingly lined up in a row there, why don't I use grenades more often? Because, in the words of the Third Doctor, I do abhor violence, but I found that tremendously satisfying nonetheless. And oh, we broke that poor fellow's limbs. Well, this one's got a sledgehammer. Alright, well, let's switch to a weapon I'm actually qualified to handle. Well, not that one. Oh, did I sell my repeater rifle? I think I did. Oh, well. Alright, well. Let's see. 1 Legion corpse to loot, 2 Legion corpse to loot. And yeah, well, I did sell most of the stuff I had. I didn't sell all of it. Because even after I bought all the stim packs and doctor bags, Dr. Ava only had so much. And you know I'm scrolling through inventory a bit faster. That's because I did finally get a new mouse. And taking care of that armor seems to have done things. And yes, I'm aware that Eddie isn't able to wear that faction armor. Funny how these Legion guys keep showing up so close to the NCR-friendly towns and bases. And again, they are kind of stealthy. Okay, so quick recap. We need to find somebody who knows a bit more about electronics who can try and repair Eddie and figure out the meaning of all those messages on him. Novac says that there are not ghouls camping out in the military base to the west, but there is something that is attacking the cattle at night. And they said we need to talk to a guy named Manny about the people attacking us. And look who just happens to be here.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit if it ain't my old friend from Good Springs.
What are you doing in Novac?
Don't rightly know. Just got the notion to make my way to New Vegas. Reckon I'll find out when I get there.
So what's the story of this place?
Novac? Nice enough place, I suppose. But between you and me, when I rolled into town, my skin started to itch. Watch yourself.
Nice to see a friendly face out here.
Likewise, friend, likewise. Is there anything old Vic can do you for?
You said the men that jumped me were heading this way, right?
No, don't believe I did. But you might ask around. The Novac folk usually see anyone traveling this way.
Uh-huh. I can use another gun at my side.
That's a mighty fine offer, but I'm gonna need to conserve my strength if I'm gonna make it all the way to New Vegas. I'm sure you do just fine without old Vic slowing you down. Well, this ain't New Vegas, but I reckon you can find what you need here. Try the office out front. Be seeing you.
Oh, my painkillers from fighting the Deathclaw just wore off. It is getting late, so looking for an inn room might not be amiss.
Well, welcome to you. You look tired from the road. Why don't you relax a spell? Let this fine town take care of you.
We haven't met yet.
Oh, what am I doing? I got to thinking about making a good impression and plain forgot to tell you my name. I'm Jeannie May. I take care of folks here at the motel, long as they aren't troublemakers.
What's this place?
We're in a little desert oasis, name of Novac. This is the Dino Delight Motel, and it's mine.
And I love like 30 the deluxe bungalow option right away. What is there of interest here?
Well, there's Dinky, the town mascot. He's a sight. You probably already saw him when you came in, but you can go up inside, too. Up the road a ways to the west, there's Repcon. That's the old rocket factory. There's been some sinister characters out there lately, so you may want to stay clear. Other than that, nothing to do but take it easy and enjoy good company.
Anything else?
Well, up north a ways, you'll see a big tower. That's Helios 1. Used to be a power plant in its day. And there's a town just east of here called Nelson. Used to be such a quaint little place until those slavers took it over. But we got our wonderful snipers keeping an eye in that direction, and so far, the slavers have left us alone.
We're gonna get some supplies.
Go see Cliff Briscoe at the Dino Bite gift shop, and tell him I sent you. I think he gets lonely standing around in that dino belly all day. He'll be glad for the company.
Hey, tell me more about Repcon.
I just know what I've heard. There's supposed to be some ghouls that went in a while back. Ever so often there'll be a commotion from that direction, explosions and such. Watch out for strangers. I hope you're finding everything to your liking.
Alright, what's been going on in town lately?
Well, let's see. Dusty McBride's been losing some Brahmin, but that's probably the heat more than anything. Honestly, it's been real quiet. Ranger Andy's still hurt, but we got these two gentlemen snipers watching the road day and night, keeping the trash out of Novac. They've been a blessing.
What's the quickest way out of this dump?
You can jump out the window for all I care, mister. You got no right to come in here and start criticizing our town. Folks work hard to keep it clean and safe. We do the best we can, but still, there's always some of you finicky types that there's just no pleasing.
Sorry, I didn't mean what I said. This seems like a nice town.
Well, it is. Not everybody appreciates it like they oughta.
And I'd like to rent a room.
Well, I think that's a fine idea. I'll give you a good flat rate, and you can stay as long as you like. At least until the busy season comes. Sound good?
Here's 100 caps.
I'm glad you can stay with us. Your room will be the one upstairs, closest to the lobby side. Here's your key. Let me know if there's anything I can do to make your stay better for you. Watch out for strangers.
Okay, so now that we have a place to crash. And 2 more bottles of Sunset Sarsaparilla. And there's quite a few people here that will want to...
Oh, I like it here. It reminds me of my family's motel back home. Maybe we could stay in one of the bungalows.
And Willow apparently not paying attention to what I was doing.
How you doing? Welcome to the Dino Bite gift shop. My name's Cliff. If you're here for the T-Rex figurines, you're just in time. There's still a few left.
Jeannie Mae sent me.
Bless her. Seems like every traveler I get in here tells me the same thing. They see the sign and think, gift shop? That's just too good to be true. But Jeannie Mae always points them back in my direction. Well, a friend of Jeannie's is a friend of mine, and my friends get a discount at my store.
Hey, bonus. And he's a caravan player as well. Is a tall ghoul in a cowboy hat in here asking questions?
Sure, but he didn't buy any souvenirs, if that's what you're wondering.
No, he wouldn't ask about ghoul activity in the area.
Oh, that. Lately, there's been talk of ghouls just a bit west of Novac, up in the mountains.
What do you sell here?
Well, there's T-Rex figurines, of course. That's our bread and butter. We also have an assortment of the Repcon factory souvenirs, rockets, things of that nature.
Tell me more about the souvenir rockets.
They're scale replicas of the real thing. Very detailed. Got a liquid in them that makes them glow. From what I hear, Repcon used to give them out on tours of their HQ up in Henderson. But I guess they had to stop after the first few kids thought they were filled with Nuka-Cola and drank it down. The papers had a name for the condition and everything. They called it the Repcon shakes. Those were bad times for Robco.
How'd they end up here?
Well, they unloaded what they had left on the Dino Bite as a tax write-off, but that was before my time. Plenty of demand for them, seeing as how they're one-of-a-kind collector's items, but I might still have some in back.
What about supplies and guns? Do you sell those?
Guns? Well, yeah, I guess I might have a few. Darn it, no one ever buys the T-Rexes.
I'd like to see what you have for sale.
Sure thing. Have a look.
And in fact, most of what he sells is guns, gun equipment, and mods. Yeah, I got a laser rifle scope. Now, if only I had a laser rifle. And he also has that gun. And a unique Shorty 9mm silencer, which we'll pick that one up because that's a special thing for Willow's gun. And I'll come back here to sell gear later.
Come back soon now.
And I was trying to talk to Willow, but...
Hey, we got a lead on the guy in the checkered coat. That was a good break, huh?
Do you want something, Willow?
I would so love to add a dinky souvenir to my collection.
Good news, Willow. I have one for you.
Ooh, thanks. That is a quality collectible. I am stashing that somewhere safe. Sure.
And eventually you do get an option to look at her collection.
Oh.
Sure. No.
And here's that Manny guy we need to speak to.
What's going on, man?
Looking for a man in a checkered coat.
Sure I know him. What do you want with him?
He has something in mind.
You talking about that chip? Man, I don't think he's giving it up. Well, listen, I can definitely help you find him, but I've got problems of my own. Maybe we can do a trade. You need my help. There's something I need too.
What do you need?
Novac? It's home for me now. I want that to be for good. I like it here, and I've left too many homes behind. But the only resource we got here is junk. Without that, people wouldn't have anything to trade. They'd all have to leave. We get most of it up the road from the old rocket test site, but a bunch of ghouls showed up one day and took it over. Can't get in there now.
What needs to be done?
Well, they gotta go, or this will be a ghost town before long. Doesn't matter to me what you do. As long as the ghouls are out of there, that's good enough for me.
Alright, see what can be done.
It'd mean a lot to me.
Oh, who are you again?
I'm Manny. I'm on security detail here. You see a rifle barrel sticking out of the dinosaur's mouth, you got a 50-50 shot it's me. Otherwise, it's Boone.
Who's Boone?
Boone's a sniper, same as me. Used to spot for him when we were enlisted with the NCR. After we got out, I talked him into settling down here. So, here we are. I'd introduce you, but, we're not so friendly right now.
What's your tour with the NCR like?
Oh, it was great. I wouldn't trade it. Something about that lifestyle, the discipline, seeing new places, making people safe. What's not to like?
So why'd you leave?
Well, I just felt like it was time, you know? Wanted to have a home. Plus, I was up at Camp Golf when Bitter Springs went down. I faked like I was sick to get out of going because I knew some of the people there. But when everybody came back, nobody would tell me what happened, and people would call us murderers sometimes when we showed up to secure towns.
What did happen in Bitter Springs?
I still don't know exactly. Just that a lot of people died who didn't want to be a part of the fighting at all. I don't blame anybody for it. There's so much chaos when you're fighting. You're lucky not to shoot your own guys. But it did take something out of it for me. It just wasn't the same. So when it came time to re-enlist, I just took my papers and walked.
Why are you on bad terms with Boone?
Me and his wife, we didn't see eye to eye on some things. We had some pretty big arguments. One day, she turns up missing, and he hasn't said a word to me since.
What did you and Boone's wife argue about?
Man, you name it. See, I grew up in North Vegas. Me and my cousins, we were some bad seeds. Got in with a gang. I loved it. Then something happened, and I couldn't handle it anymore. So, I enlisted, earned my future, brought down my best friend to share that future with me. And here was this woman, who was too good for it, trying to take him away. So yeah, I didn't see eye to eye with the bitch.
That's not suspect at all. So you were with a gang? Were they tough?
Were they tough? I was in the cons, man. It doesn't get any badder.
Okay, so who do you protect the town from?
You name it. Anything that comes within 1,000 yards that looks like trouble. Lately we've been getting ghouls, coming from the road to Repcon out to the west. Quite a few last couple days. The big threat is the Legion coming from the east. If they decide to attack with a full force, they'll run us over. So far, we've been lucky.
Alright. Well, fair bit of background there.
See ya.
Pretty clear that our next stop is westward. But we got a few things to do in Novac once it gets dark. And we'll start doing those next time. We'll see you then.